TV, turning on your world.
And of course, it's that time that you love every Friday where we kickstart the weekend. Hashtag TTTT with me, most bankable host Brian Eseli, stepping up for my girl Amina. If you see her, tell her akuje kazini. I'm just stepping up for her. And right now, I just have to introduce this amazing panel. I hope your week has been great. To my right is none other than a great man. Ataji introduce. We'll go up here and introduce Tom Daktari. Never. Talk to us.
Greatest of all time. Tom Daktari.
Yes, Tom Daktari.
Hakujawahi kuwa Tom Daktari tangu
mimi sijaisikia Tom Celeb.
Tom
lakini hujawahi sikia Tom Daktari.
Wewe kuna Tom Celeb, Tom Cruise.
Huyo ni superstar.
Huyo ni si celeb.
Tom and Jerry.
I'm just a talented guy.
A talented guy. The greatest
according to talent according to
Wikipedia. Okay.
Wikipedia.
Judges wakati wa huko high school ni drama.
Karibu sana Tom Daktari.
Drama.
And of course another one is a great gentleman, also a great producer behind the scenes. He does a lot of plays, a lot of great things. Sijui hata vile nitakupatia title, but
I think I've had enough. You've said a great gentleman. Yes. Let's maintain at the great.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at the greatest of them all.
Yeah.
To be a goat.
Yes.
No. Easy.
And now, without much ado, pause what you're doing.
Oh,
We're just about to introduce the only lady on our panel today, ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Ogana.
The show of the show. The show of the show.
Social lines.
Holding it down for the last 8 years.
How has your week been?
Oh, it's been fantastic.
Yaani ulianza hii show kama sijapata ID.
Guy,
I think that's personal.
Unashoma,
8
you're
years
funny.
ago.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know where Tom was 8 years ago.
Okay.
Must have been in primary school.
No, nilikuwa nauza mayai. Nairobi nilikuwa nimeingia.
Ulijua Kencom at least.
Nani alitangulia kuuza mayai, wewe ama nini 001?
Let's put a pause on that and kickstart the show with crazy stories happening. Of course, Migori man who hung on helicopter sentenced to 18 months on a fine of 500K. That is Stephen Odhiambo Obise, known as Migori James Bond, has been sentenced to 18 months in prison or a fine of 500,000 for endangering an aircraft during Prince Inda's wedding. He pleaded guilty to hanging from a helicopter during takeoff on April 13th, 2025, which posed a great risk to the aircraft and its passengers. Tom Daktari, talk to us about this. What do you think?
One, wamefanya vizuri kabla ya harusi yangu, wasirudie the same. So, sitaki tena ninunue chopa tena ianze kusemekana, oh, no. Nataka wame-learn lesson. But I believe that vile niliona celebration ya ati, oh, huyu ndio amepanda chopa, huyu ndio, I felt really, sijui ni semeaje, but nilisikia, na huyu jamaa unajua alitolewa mara mingi hapo. Kuja, usiende. So wakati chopa inataka kwenda akaifuata. So ni lesson kubwa sana ambayo watu wanafai waipate. So to him and those that would likely have tabia kama hiyo.
Wakati wa wedding yako?
Yeah, na pia chopa yangu inapokuja nimeyoda.
Cindy, what do you think about this story?
I don't know why he pleaded guilty. This is Kenya. You deny.
You don't.
There is evidence. You deny. There's a screenshot. They're zooming in on your face. You deny.
I think this guy doesn't watch our politicians.
Absolutely. He needs to learn. Because now you see, according to law, if you are guilty of a crime, the judge can give you the maximum penalty. And I think that's the maximum he has been given. It seems a bit harsh, 1.5 years in prison, which you'll probably face because the fine is too high. Tom, I agree with you. It's a deterrent. This is the second guy. Amehangwa chopa, and it's a deterrent. You don't want to.
No, this is the second recorded one.
The second exactly.
Actually,
maybe there have been others, but still, he's not smart. I think maybe he thought because he landed, then he was a hero. Alibebwa sasa yeye ndio wakusema. You know, when do you let him say? Those people who bebad him wamchangie bail.
I think for me, we don't have the the background story, what happened. But if the guy ali drop you, there's now the subsequent video that the guy was dropped pale. I think ni kwake. Have you seen that video akidropiwa mahali kwa nyumba fulani?
With a helicopter?
Yes, with the same helicopter. The guy. There's a video. There's a subsequent video that you guys need to see.
Akiwa home.
Akiwa home. Sasa amedropiwa na aka wave. Haya basi. Chonjo kabisa. So I think the guy was just being dropped. Ni vile tu space haikuwa ndani. So there's no need to charge the guy.
I think Cindy has a point. 500,000 shillings too much.
A fine.
A fine?
Yeah.
Because say, first of all, a local villager just doing his thing. And out of interest, maybe that was his dream to fly in a plane one day. Because he was trying to have a negotiation with the pilot, but hakuwa namsikiza, then he decided to hop onto it. 1.5 years, too much. I feel like hii ni kitu unashukua 1 week na unapatiwa onyo, and then life moves on from there. Because there's a lot that can be said, but people in aviation can definitely tell us that part of endangering the lives of the people who are in the plane, in the helicopter. You definitely give us advice on the same. Let's jump on to the next one. A 22-year-old man arrested, a 22-year-old man arrested of impersonating President William Ruto on X and declaring he must go while pretending to be the 5th president of Kenya under the username I Must Go, has been released by the DCI. Now, he was seeking orders to detain Titus Wekesa Sifuna for an additional 5 days to conclude investigations into offenses of false publication, contrary to Section 23 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act of 2018. Sifuna was arrested in Bungoma County for alleged publication of false information while pretending he was President William Ruto and deceiving Kenyans that he would leave office. First of all, has a lot of comic relief. For people who are in comedy, I know, Ndenga, you have something to say. Someone decided to call himself I Must Go, which has been a connotation within the streets and alleged in some corners and corridors. What do you have to say about this?
I think we were having that conversation the other day. Tukisema, we have several accounts, pseudo accounts, calling themselves, even the name, let alone this guy calling himself I Must Go. There is no anywhere in that account amesema ameandika jina ya, the president.
I am the president.
Yes, I am the president. He just wrote I must go and using the president's photo. Lots of guys are using the president's photo regardless kama ameweka jina yake ni Kioko Kipto ama Daktari Tom na ameweka picha ya president. It's allowed. It's allowed. So I don't see anything alarming there. It's only that this is Kenya. This is 254. If they need to get you, they'll get you. They'll use anything against you. But I think Msi alikuwa tu ako sawa. Me, I don't think. We've seen worse. We've seen worse. But sasa,
Cindy, are we misusing our freedom of expression? Because this is a form of expression.
It is.
And someone is just trying to say, you know what, this is my page. I'm going to create something that is resounding with the tone of the country at the moment. What do you have to say about that?
I'm just looking at past regimes, and there's so many pseudo accounts for different personalities in the past regime, and nobody was ever, captured or arrested. It's just, I don't know. When a child has paint or mud on their hands, and then you wash their hands, and then they go back and do the same thing. I'm just wondering, do they not learn from the temperature of what happens when people try to, especially the youth, express themselves the way they know how? Tom Daktari's generation, guys who grew up with smartphones, guys who do not know the full extent of the rule of law. And the only way they know is through parodies and memes. You can actually tap into that for your own benefit. But the more you squash it, the more you try to curtail it, the more these things come up. Whoever thought that after the account that posted a picture of the head of state in a casket and the consequent events, whoever thought that somebody would still have them now? Yet we have this guy who has opened an account saying, I must go. So that means there'll still be more and more and more. This is not something that you can constantly stop by arresting individuals. I think the full force of the law should be used to deal with the rising crime that is currently happening all over the country.
Cindy, can you imagine? This is just a pseudo account inaandika vitu. You know, they are just mellow. They are just there. Can you imagine na kuna mwingine anaitwa M something Aoko?
Yes.
Yeah, sasa si pseudo account.
Yeah,
real.
The real deal.
Sijamwona DCI wakimfanyia.
Wewe mtafuta. According to some of our
disappeared at some point.
The secret is where tumia account yako.
Usitumie sudo.
Usitumie sudo utashikwa.
Tom Daktari, what do you have to say about this?
You see, these people who impersonate the president, and most of the time they forget that they're already the president there in their profile and start criticizing that president, okay? So it's one thing criticizing the president, it's also another thing criticizing the president while you are the president, okay?
That guy was pretty much just saying, I am going in my own right.
Yeah, so by the way, I'm a victim of such.
Pseudo accounts.
Yeah, of course, I'm a victim. Someone
of saying that you must go or
no, I was going. I had already gone. I was already gone because this guy created an account that he named it Tom Daktari, and then people started watching. So immediately I post, he takes the post and posts on his page. So now his page became the original page.
Oh,
so it becomes, this is the Tom Daktari. So people are watching the pseudo account, not me. So, so when I post, I get a copyright. Now I'm posting content that belongs to someone else.
No way.
Of course.
So what did you do?
And this person, what they did, they went, they used to go live and, they don't show their image. So people are saying...
They don't show Tom Daktari.
Yeah, they can't show Tom Daktari. So I get in there and use another account, a pseudo account too. That was not Tom Daktari. And say, hey, I love your work, bro. Let me send you something. Which number do I send to? And the guy replies. He says, it will bring, I don't know, Kevin who.
Kevin who?
Kevin, I remember it's Kevin.
That's the pseudo, the original.
Yes. And they say, this is the manager. This is my manager. I don't like giving my number. I've given you the manager's number.
No, come to me.
And then now... Yeah, DCI waka ingia.
Aya,
Nimenipea number sasa.
Aya, we're going to take a short commercial break. On the other half, we have more stories. Others captivating. Is Kenya being slammed by Vietnam gas president? That's the question you need to think about.
Nivea Black and White Deal, now with 72-hour protection. But what does that mean? 3 cities in 3 days and no fear of sweat. 120 dances with skin as smooth as the moves. Sweat, stain, and skin protection. Nivea Black and White Deal. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea is for skin.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh chicken coiler at 599 shillings per kg. Grape sweat pack 500 grams at 259 shillings. Sunrise basmati rice 5 kg at 1,149 shillings. And LG fridge 519 liters at 120,895 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Someone just framed me, but I don't think it matters. I'm gonna lose the case anyway.
Who ordered you to kill my husband? Tell me who!
Where's the footage of the clubhouse? Where's the footage of the parking lot?
That's what I find puzzling as well.
Why is your shoe here and not with you?
Widow's Wear. This week on Twende, we are going to the Euphrates.
I'm probably the first person in Kenya to even attempt to swim in this water.
Please, my brother.
What's happening? Hey, it's the cold. Oh, Kenyans, they're waiting, yeah?
And we visit one of the oldest cities on earth, I find out how seriously food is taken here.
It's very, very nice.
So beautiful, so wonderfully made. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
To get Wananiuliza by voice emoji, dial star 812 star 801 hash.
Skiza, Land Nation.
Best show in Africa ongoing. Hashtag TTTT. Simple and clear as that. So much love online. We're going to be sampling some of the comments. And of course, before we even get into the stories of the day, of course, people are speculating that there's going to be, the next pop is potentially going to be an African pop. There's two amazing gentlemen, one from, is it Guinea-Bissau in Ghana? And of course, people are speculating. Is it too soon to actually talk about the next pop? Because Pope Francis just passed on a few days back, and it came as a big shock to everyone because it was breaking news. Ndenga, hii maneno kwanza umechangisha. Nimesikia there are Kenyans online who wameanzisha ka group pale wanachangisha story ya pop.
Hujachanga kwa WhatsApp group. Sasa mtu anaenda anabadilisha namba yake hapo, anaeka ati ndio pesa ya pop inaenda hapa. Mtu anatoka na pesa mingi hapo.
So hujachanga.
Bado sijasikia mchango inatoka, unless hiyo ni namba ya Italy. Sijui Italy their code is plus. Nikio nimetoka huko.
Hapo
hujafika.
Sisi bado tuko 256.
Come on.
Hujafika wrong.
Daddy Mato yuko.
256.
Daddy Mato angepasha tuambia.
Yaani hapa mali sisi tuko mtu ameenda mbali ni Uganda na ni Tom.
Uganda na Tanzania.
Uganda ni ocha kwetu, so hakuna venye mnaweza sema sija travel huko. Siku hivyo ndani.
You're Ugandan, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not Ugandan, but we have relatives.
So anyway, I don't
but
think...
as a Catholic nimeenda mbali juu every Sunday me huenda mass.
Yes. Latin. That's a millennial joke.
No, but Pope Francis has to be, I think, the coolest Pope ever.
Yeah.
The way he was calling for peace, diplomacy, governance. He was very down to earth. He was a former bouncer. He was so relatable.
Yeah.
And, you know, he saw his death coming. He had put all his affairs in order. It was his time. We're happy he transitioned on Easter Sunday. What a beautiful day to go and be with our Lord. And we're excited. Mina shanga kwani au mapriest wa Kenya hakuna in the bidding, in the running.
Hakuna cardinals. So what do you think about the next, potentially, the next Pope being from the African continent? Tom Daktari.
One, I believe nimeona watu wakisema unajua hii sio siasa, sio si kama ile ya AU, tunahitaji huo mtu wetu. I believe Wakatoliki wanajua namna yao ya kuchagua. One, na pia reason pia nimeona tuwezi kuwa na mmoja wa Kenya. I think one ni experience and still working close to hiyo Pope.
And because karibu pia tupeane baba, because Kenyans have also been creating an environment where tupeane baba because ya AU ilikata. Kenyans have been making so much fun online, and Esther Passaris was actually pissed about it.
Yeah, niliona sana. So it will be a good thing kupata Pope ambaye ni Mwafrika, but as a Catholic mimi ninasema tunaomba yule ambaye atakuwa pale akuwe best, kwa sababu tukianza kusema lazima akuwe wetu, na pia nimeona watu wanasema Pope akitoka Afrika wazungu wanaacha Catholic sasa tena.
Ndenga, what do you think about that? Are we ready for a Catholic
a black
Pope? The Black Pope. If you know, you know. People are watching that series, baby.
I don't think the world is ready for a black Pope. Have you guys seen the videos that have been doing rounds across the social media and how the other cardinals, I don't know if they are cardinals or the highest priests, how they're behaving towards the black cardinals, and you feel like,
a little bit of racism in
yes.
that?
Yes.
A little bit. The black cardinals.
It's a lot of racism.
It's not even subtle.
Yeah. In fact, wanasema the black cardinals ndio wako karibu sana. Karibu sana.
They're the most
experienced.
Yes.
The most experienced.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But I believe, I don't know.
But, you know,
I don't know.
Yeah, the world is not ready to see it. And I hope this will be the change that we finally need to stop this whole colorism.
Yeah.
We've had a black president of one of the most powerful countries in the world, Barack Obama, you know, my relative. So we can...
Yes,
we can.
And it's so sad. It's so sad you're still here with us.
You know,
Visa. You're crazy, but there's also people betting online on who's going to be the next Pope. So you see how people bet for football. So kuna watu create sites where you're actually allowed to predict and say, you know what, this person is going to be the next Pope. And they're betting as high as 138,000 Kenya shillings.
Oh, wow. You get money.
Yeah, you get money. So people are betting.
That's odd.
Yeah. That's odd. Check it, bro. Tunakujua. Tafadhali usijianike. Moving on further afield, Vietnam gas president Donald Chow has taken a rather bold swipe at African leadership, and especially Kenya, accusing them of lacking long-term vision and serious execution culture that continues to stall the continent's development. Now, speaking after meetings with President William Ruto and President Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi in Nairobi, Chow painted a grim picture of Kenya's investment climate despite the government's ambitious rhetoric around infrastructure and economic transformation. Now, partly read, I met with Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi and President William Ruto in Nairobi. They spoke with energy about Kenya's future investment, infrastructure, public housing. That is how he quote. He wrote on his LinkedIn page, but behind the polished language was a painful truth. There is no serious execution culture. That is what he said. Ndenga, man, I'd like to hear from you, because this is someone who's a president of something that we've gone for trade deals, we've gone for that kind of bilateral talks between us and a country, and a president of the president of gas in that country. We're looking for them to actually come and do an investment here at home. Amesema, hamna culture iko forward hivyo. I'm thinking about you don't have an execution culture.
Well, as the tag suggests, the guy amejaa gas. Which is just speaking our language, the common mwananchi language, and just amplifying it on a different level, which is a good thing. And if now the executive and the the top creme de la creme of our leadership cannot hear mwananchi wa kawaida, then it's time to hear the diplomats, the people around that support us in terms of donations and everything. Their language is our language. It's a good thing. They're seeing through that lens that niaje kama ukweli mnaongea and there's no any action, then it's true. Wacha waambiwe.
So we lack an execution culture. Is that what you think?
Yeah, but absolutely.
Yes.
Otherwise, if we did, then Morara would be out of work.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does. He goes around and just showing stuff that we launch but we don't execute. But it's also rather embarrassing. I've looked at this guy's CV. It's very high up. I mean, he's a mover and shaker par excellence. However, to have the guts to criticize a head of state, that means that the head of state is now no longer being criticized by his peers. Amepita hapo. Now, even people who might not be leaders of countries are criticizing you directly in your presence. It's almost like when you're a manager and you go for a board meeting and a junior staff is keleleshaing you or saying, you know what, you're not doing your best. Ikifika point where now CEOs are dissing you in your face, and probably you've gone there for some diplomatic mission or to look for partnership, and it's not even the president. It's not even the prime minister if they had a position
like that.
The
guy is a president, military ni wagas.
Yes.
But
Ni
she's a
CEO
friend.
wa kampuni.
Yeah.
Anakuambia live to your face. Lazima ujiulize maswali.
That's crazy, but isn't it true?
No, it is totally
It's true, and you can imagine. You can imagine ni wangapi wamenyamaza, and they want to say the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Sometimes mpaka wanaongea mpaka unajiambia ama sisi ndio hatuko sawa. Ama sisi ndio hatuelewi kwa sababu they will just talk na hakuna kitu itafanyika, like mnajua, and everyone knows tutaongea, watapanga hii na haitafanyika. So let's just
I think it's the same thing wanaongelelea say about there was also that flowery part mali inasemekana. I went to talk about how we've planted how many trees so far? A billion trees.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, wajameni, ukweli ni
Kenya moja.
Ukweli. Ni ngapi zinapandika?
Kenya moja. Zinapandwa wapi?
So if you pick such those pockets of sitaki kuzita uongo, sisi tutazitaje? If you pick, yes, whatever it is. Then they add up to something.
It's even the 48 laws of power. It waters down your credibility if you give your power to somebody in a lower sort of ranking than you to criticize you. You automatically lose that power. You can't go home and hold your head up high.
But when you know it's bad. The other day when President had the kikao, how do we call it? That round table interview. And I think it was one of those, one of the inaugural journalists. Alimuliza outright. People are saying that you, when ni muongo, what do you have to say about that? So, not only the Nini Vietnamese, Nini Rambo, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, even the local journalists wanazisema. So,
but ni the same tu nikwambie uko na pesa yangu. Leo nikwambie niko na pesa yako, uniambie nipe, nikwambie kesho. Kesho unipigie nikwambie kesho, leo jioni. Jioni unipigie nikwambie Wednesday asubuhi. Wednesday unipigie nikwambie Sunday. Sunday unipigie. So inaenda hivyo nazoea.
So let's put a pin on that, but of course we need to ask ourselves, is it true that Kenya as a country lacks an execution culture? You be the one to give us feedback. We will be sampling that after this short commercial break.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
I'll have whatever he's having.
Real recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh chicken coiler at 599 shillings per kg. Grape sweat pack 500 grams at 259 shillings. Sunrise basmati rice 5 kg at 1,149 shillings. And LG fridge 519 liters at 120,895 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Oops, say cheese.
No. Say size.
As a parent, our biggest aspiration is to see our children succeed. But with this dream lies a weight of responsibility. At DTB, we understand the challenges you face and are here to help you ease the burden of educational costs. By requiring no collateral and offering flexible repayment options, our school fees loan provides up to 1 million shillings to give your child the chance to pursue their dreams. Bank on us for their future and apply for a school fees loan today. SMS fees to 23359 or visit any of our DTB branches today for more information. DTB, bank with us, bank on us.
Elimu ya sasa inafungua akili, inajenga fikra na inakuza uwezo. Na CBE, watoto wanajifunza kuelewa kwa kufanya. Hii ni elimu inayojenga uwezo na skills za kujenga kesho. Kenya haibadilishi tu jinsi tunavyosoma. inabadilisha jinsi tunavyokuwa. Jiunge nasi, tusonge mbele pamoja. CBE, elimu dhabiti.
In preparation for the coming Labor Day celebration on the 1st of May 2025 at Uhuru Gardens, the Central Organization of Trade Unions Kenya, KOTU, invites you to its annual Labor Day Thanksgiving prayers happening this Sunday, the 27th of April at St. Stephen's Cathedral Church, Jogoo Road. Catch the event live on NTV from 11 a.m. The Central Organization of Trade Unions Kenya. All workers, one voice.
Well, my name is Derry Deani. I am the chairman of Nyahururu Country Club. The Marine Shrine has a place in the hearts of many people, particularly Nyahururu Golf Club. We find that place as a serene environment for us for prayers, and therefore when we are called upon to support an activity such as that rehabilitation, we are ready and willing. Our members will be ready and willing. Not only our members, but also the clubs that are sister clubs to Nyahururu Golf Club. I do believe that most of them will come here to be able to support that worthy cause. This is a shrine that is very dear to us as Catholics, and therefore my clarion call to them is let them come out in numbers to support in whatever way. So for those who can swing, we invite them to come and, have a taste. This is not only significance in the environment, but also its spiritual significance. So all the Catholics, let them come and join you in rehabilitating.
This month on EdTech Mondays Kenya, we are in Mombasa for the Pwani EdTech Summit, where we unpack how Kenya is mobilizing resources and building powerful partnerships to make EdTech sustainable for every child, teacher, and community.
The element of resource mobilization and partnership has greatly contributed towards the government's effort to accelerating teaching and learning within education space.
Don't miss this insightful edition of EdTech Mondays Kenya, the 28th of April, only on NTV.
Yes, we are back. We are back. And of course, right now, we promised that we're going to give you feedback. Hashtag TTTT. And right now, I don't know, lady and gentlemen, any feedback from the socials? Let's have a read, probably from Ndenga. I don't know if you've seen something.
Watu wako na mengi ya kusema hii town. Na wengine wanasema, there's a guy called Azumi. This is on X. That Vietnam CEO is right. Sushi don't lie. I swear.
Sushi don't lie.
Yeah, I swear our politicians are full of BS. Shoni polite, host wako sawa. Huyo jamaa wa Vietnam ako sawa. I don't know ni nani anamaanisha. Ako sawa huyo jamaa wa Vietnam. The guy is called Mbudi Duncan.
Yeah. Cindy, do you have anything?
He's read mine. Ask Tom.
Tom, give us feedback.
Another guy, Basi Painkiller, Painkiller on X saying, good evening, you all looking good. I'm watching from Ngong with my niece and nephews, Given, Gift, and Gail. Okay, wanajita hivyo. Hi, Given, Gift, and Gail. Karibuni sana watching. My weekly highlight is the death of Pope.
The death of Pope.
Hiyo ndio kizungu.
Hapo ndio imemfikisha.
RIP, Shoni Moto. Amesema Shoni Moto.
Sean B anasema our government needs to walk the talk.
Stanley Wambugu anasema African American is not time to have a black pope yet, on the conversation that we're having about the Pope. If Africa or the world is actually ready to have a black pope. So more feedback, we'll continue sampling some more. Keep on using the hashtag TTTT. Sasa, mambo ni kama hayo. We move on to the next one, and of course, woman hope ligami. I think every man deserves a hope ligami in their lives because this is the luckiest woman alive. Hope ligami, a Nairobi-based woman, is currently on the spot for being repeatedly featured in multiple promotional materials from various gambling platforms, each time celebrating a new win. These wins range from cash prizes to a brand new car, while some hail her extraordinarily lucky. Others are questioning the authenticity of betting platforms and whether her streak is a genuine run of fortune or a carefully orchestrated marketing strategy. Hope is
alive. Hope is alive. Hope is alive. Yeah, there is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope. Yes, Cindy.
She's definitely a paid actor. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
There's no
Come
way.
on.
No, I've
Can
always
someone be
said
lucky 3 times?
No. I've always said these betting things. There's just no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Not 3 times. You can be lucky all
ain't
the
no
time.
way.
You can be lucky all the time.
Yes.
I put 10 bob, I get $1 million. I'm sorry, me, I'm a skeptic.
Cindy is saying
it doesn't work.
Cindy is saying ati kampuni zinasema kuna mmoja ameipiga vizuri.
Huyu ni hope.
So if you
and
like,
you know, it's just, and I like that this news is coming now because there was, I think you talked about it last week on The Trend, that Kenyans are gambling like crazy percentages of their salaries, crazy percentage of our population, billions is going into gambling, which is now becoming a vice.
It's 24,000 shillings per second.
Exactly.
So
it's now becoming a vice. And maybe this can be a wake-up call to everybody who's addicted to all this aviator nonsense. That
why are you mentioning
there
brands?
is no... you know, all these betting things, that there is no get-rich-quick scheme. I don't think there's anybody like a Fortune 500 company CEO who got to where they got through betting. They just didn't. So you need to call yourself and ask yourself
someone can get lucky all the time.
You can get lucky all the time. But I believe that there's nothing addictive kama gambling. Iyo ukijaribu kuingia tu kidogo na shilingi 10, unajua watakupea kwanza, watakurudishia. Wanakurudishia. That's according to vile wale ambao wanatoa ushuhuda wanasema kwamba waliekelea kidogo.
Je, ukiwa hapo nyumbani utaambia watu nini
wakarudisha ikaenda yote. So I think that is tuseme ako lucky, sisi tuseme labda she's lucky. But really unajua kuna mtu anamuocha anasema nataka kukua kama huyu. So mimi nikiekelea hapa, nikiekelea hapa, niekelee huku. So I don't know, labda ni
ni mwekezaji bora,
labda atengeneze classes sasa sisi tuende tukae chini.
Yes, tuende master classes za
ukiona Manchester United inacheza na Chelsea, unaangalia kama huyu mchezaji yako na kama hako basi unaekelea.
This is why math should be made compulsory. Nakumbuka walikuwa wanataka kutoa mathematics. There's something called the law of probability, which is it's very rare for one person in this panel to hit the jackpot more than once.
But I think it's over time.
Lightning doesn't strike the same place twice.
And that's why it has struck different places, different times. So these are different platforms. I may strike once, and you know, he has achieved.
So I feel like this is not a scam.
Really, you say it's over time. Saying it's over time. But really, with the same style, annually. Over time.
But they can get change hairstyle.
Come on, you just change it. Listen, there are people like that.
Sasa wewe wacha nikuulize wewe kijana. Wewe kuuliza mambo yako wewe kijana. So wewe ukishinda sasa utaenda unyoe ndevu sasa then uende ingia weke dread.
Now over time, as you say, over time.
We all know Shebeshna style moja ever since.
No.
Ever since this last
over time.
We know Shebeshna style moja. So akishinda nini so abadilishe.
Basi hata uso
if Hope anapenda hiyo style.
Sio kila saa not less.
Hope kwa style yake.
So thank you so much for the comments. Right now I want to jump on to the next one. Imagine you're on holiday, mambo yako imekuwa sawa kabisa and you're chilling and then this happens. A hippo strayed from a nearby park and invaded a swimming pool at a lavish resort in Naivasha, leaving the affluent patrons scampering for safety. Now, in the video, the patrons are seen screaming for help as KWS rangers fired shots in the air to scare the hippo away. The aggressive hippo broke a gate and wandered around the resort, putting the lives of the patrons at risk. It was later contained by the rangers and returned to the park. That's good news. Nobody died, nobody got hurt. I just feel like people had to run for their lives. Cindy, what do you have to say about this?
I do a bit, but let me tell you. Personally, for me...
First of all,
it's the fear. The fear and the trauma. I do not like large animals, especially large animals that can breathe underwater and run faster on land. So for me, the idea of a holiday is not to go to a place where there are animals that can kill me. Actually, let's go at 6 a.m. to go see lions. What if that lion decides...
Today is the day.
Today is the day.
That the Lord has made.
Exactly.
We shall be glad.
I don't consider it having fun going to places that have animals that can kill you. Please, just go to Mombasa.
Hey, juko ndo hakuna shark.
Hakuna. No, but why is it in the ocean?
Let me tell you, Cindy. Let me tell you, Cindy. Unaweza enda hata hiyo Mombasa na hata nini itakuangukia tu.
Tsunami.
Starfish itakupata. Starfish tu imoja. Ndio kumbe ndio kuna moja yenye iko na sumu ikuume hapo ndo uende. Ati sababu na Mombasa is safer. Oh nini? Tilapia, omena.
Hakuna even our ancestors never built houses near lakes.
So you can't say that at now this is a safe place.
Unasema mtu wa kunyongwa hata
mimi na pesa zangu ni asubuhi.
Hata uji itamnyonga.
Hakuna
I'll not leave the house. I'll not leave the house kwa sababu nimesikia huko nje. Ati radi inaweza nipiga. Slide na hiyo tiles umezoea kila siku.
Hiyo ni sawa. But me with my own money that I've worked hard for, I leave my bed to go sleep on a tent where an animal can eat me for fun. Can never be me.
Tom Daktari, what do you have to say about that?
I'll say kama vile Cindy amesema, hiyo pesa yako itumie vizuri.
But Cindy,
but you see the hippo just enjoying. Because rather than guys getting a towel, wafunike hippo imeshatoka kwa maji sasa relax, watu wanaifukuza. I wonder why.
There's something wrong with Ndenga. But listen, it is a resort. Listen, guys, it's a resort that has offered safety over the years. It's not something that has happened before, but it's close to the lake. Isn't this pure accident? Isn't that it doesn't look like a bad PR for the guys who are doing the resort business?
No.
Aseli, one thing, hiyo hippo ilikuwa inataka tu kiboko.
Pun intended. Millennial joke alert.
But I think kwa sababu kama kuna kitu Ndenga amesema, you see wamesema hii ni kitu imehappen, ijawahi kuhappen. So that tells you that kitu ya kuhappen ita happen. So enda tu mahali unataka basi.
Wewe enda tu, it will just happen.
Enda tu kwa sababu labda hata basi ingetokea hapo ungekuwa tu ukienda home iende itokee.
Cindy, God forbid.
But you know we might be here. Not made for us.
Cindy, we might be here.
No, this sort of tourist resorts that are close to animals, they're not made for us because us we are risk averse. That is why holidays to Nandanga Ushago. We are risk averse. So let the resorts deal with their target audience. As for me and my house, we will sleep in a house.
So that's for safety. Let's move on to the next one. A 14-year-old girl has been killed by a lion on the outskirts of Nairobi. Now, the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, said the child was snatched from a residential compound on a ranch next to Nairobi National Park, according to the Conservation Agency. The alarm was raised by another teenager, and the KWS rangers followed tracks to the nearby Mbagathi River, where they found the primary school girl's remains. The lion has not been found, but KWS said it had set a trap and deployed search teams to look for the animal. Another human-animal conflict. We've heard of elephants attacking people. We've heard of lions attacking people. Just the other month, Rongai, a camera in a residential home in Rongai recorded a lioness actually jumping over a gate. I don't know what you have to say about this. Are we encroaching into the animal space, or are the animals now encroaching into the human spaces? Cindy na Joeni mtu wa NGO, hebu tuambie.
Absolutely. We encroached into even with the previous story of the resort, we encroach into animal spaces for commercial purposes. For the sake of the resort, you want to build a hotel, tourist attractions, they see the animals, you make money. For the sake of Rongai, Rongai was part of a forest. And even part of, I've even forgotten the name of the gate, Ukienda, opposite multimedia. It still continues, the forest still continues until that section. However, because we are commercial, because we want prime land, we're hiving it off for commercial purposes. But these animals don't know commerce. They know, before this was my neighborhood, now there are houses, so now let me jump over the houses and see what's going on. There are new people in my neighborhood. And it's so unfortunate. First of all, deepest condolences. That's a very painful way to go. To the family, to the friend who's traumatized, to the neighbors. I can imagine how the girl was scared, seeing a whole huge lion coming after you.
Must have been really bad.
Very traumatizing. Something has to be done. It's not the first, it's not the last time. And in this country, animals have more value than human beings. There's been conflict with elephants. You're told if you shoot the elephant, you'll be in prison for how long? So what are we going to do if now they are endangering our children?
Tom and Denga, we share a minute, so let's keep it quick. 20 Kazi.
One, I've seen a lot of people build houses now saying, hey, now the good thing with this house, it has a view of the national park. You can see animals there. And I feel that ndio ukue unaona mnyama pale inamaanisha tumekaribia sana. Tumekaribia sana. Maybe the government can do something, either to protect, tuweke in a way that huyo mnyama hataruka to the other side ya watu. Kwa sababu sisi hatuendi kwao basi wasikuje. So and that will take the government ifanye kitu.
Denga, real quick.
So unfortunate and so sad that we lost the girl. Poleni sana kwa familia, but again, tumesema we are encroaching those spaces, not necessarily meaning this particular area or ranch that this incident happened. But generally, ukienda hata ipande ingine ya nini Kitengela, people are just encroaching in those spaces.
That's the river, look Kenya.
Yeah. So, and I saw a video. I don't know if that's encroaching how ama walipataje hizo zebra. Did you guys see a video of former governor wa Mombasa playing golf during Easter? Then kuna zebras ziko hapo around the golf course, and I was wondering, hizo zebras mejipataje hapo? Is it an encroachment? Is it something, you know?
Yeah. So it's crazy how we are interacting with wildlife. But of course, we have to take care of the environment and take care of our wildlife. And also encroachment is actually something that we've seen over the years. We've come to the end of this amazing show, an extension of the same from 10 till infinity, because you have great dance, great music, great conversations, amazing artists all the way from Uganda. Elijah Chitaka will be here. A big appreciation to the gentleman that is Tom Daktari and Denga, and of course, the one and only Cindy Ogana. Have a beautiful evening. Stand by for NTV News.
Good night.